Imagine this. You work day and night, building a successful life, providing for your woman, giving her everything, a beautiful home, a nice car, luxury vacations. And then one day you find out that while you were grinding, she was out with another man. What would you do? This is the story of a man who refused to be a fool. He didn't beg. He didn't explode in rage. Instead, he planned the ultimate revenge, one that left his cheating wife with absolutely nothing. Want to know how he did it? Watch till the end and you'll see how betrayal was punished and how a real man always comes out on top. Miami. A hot evening breeze rolled in from the ocean, rustling the palm trees outside a luxurious mansion. Jake Collins stood by the window, gripping a glass of whiskey. By all accounts, he had it all: an empire of high-end auto repair shops, a garage full of luxury cars, a stunning home with a pool, and a wife most men would kill for. Ashley Collins was beautiful, elegant, and used to the finer things in life. He had worked tirelessly to give her everything. But lately, something felt off. Ashley was always busy, long hours at the gym, endless brunches with her friends, shopping sprees that seemed to take all day. She never left her phone unattended, even taking it into the shower. Their nights together had grown cold, and then there were the little things, her fake smiles, the distracted look in her eyes, the unreturned kisses. Then, one evening, while grabbing drinks with his longtime friend Mark, Jake saw the truth. Mark hesitated before pulling out his phone. Jake glanced at the screen. A photo. Ashley standing outside the gym, laughing, touching the chest of some guy. He was leaning in, whispering something in her ear. Too close, too familiar. Jake's jaw tightened. Who is he? His voice was calm, too calm. Some trainer. Dan Harris. I've seen them together a few times, but now I'm sure. Jake took a closer look at the picture. His grip on the glass tightened, but his expression remained unreadable. Inside, he felt the fire of betrayal rage through him, but he wouldn't lose control. No, that's what weak men do. He set the glass down, looked Mark dead in the eyes, and simply nodded. Appreciated. Then, without another word, he stood up and walked out. At that moment, he already knew this wasn't going to end in a fight. It was going to end in destruction. Jake didn't confront Ashley. He didn't lose his temper, didn't let on that he knew. Instead, he played his role, loving husband, busy businessman, the man too focused on his work to notice his wife sneaking around. But behind the scenes, he was setting the stage for his revenge. Step 1, gathering proof. He hired a private investigator, one of the best in Miami. Within a week, Jake had it all: photos of Ashley and Dan meeting up at hotels, screenshots of flirty texts and explicit messages, security footage of her bringing Dan into Jake's own house while he was away. She didn't just cheat, she disrespected him in his own home. That sealed her fate. Step 2, the financial trap. Ashley thought she had it made: luxury cars, designer clothes, and unlimited credit card. What she didn't know, she owned none of it. Jake had been smart. The mansion, in his name, the cars, leased under his business. The bank accounts, carefully structured so that she had no real access to his assets. He met with his lawyer and made one final move. He quietly moved most of his liquid cash into an untouchable account, leaving just enough for her to think nothing had changed. When the hammer dropped, she wouldn't just lose him, she'd lose everything. Step 3, the psychological warfare. Jake started testing her. He'd casually ask about her day, look her in the eyes, and watch her lie to his face. He'd act romantic, knowing she was sneaking out later that night. He even suggested a weekend getaway just to watch her scramble for excuses. She thought she was playing him. She had no idea the game was already over. The final move. The stage was set. He had the evidence, the financial upper hand, and the perfect plan. Now, all that was left was execution. The night had finally come. Ashley thought it was just another special dinner Jake was planning for their anniversary. She smiled, admiring the way he had set everything up: candles, fine wine, a fancy dinner. She had no idea that this was all part of a bigger plan. As she sat down at the table, she couldn't help but feel proud of herself, thinking she had it all under control. She was about to get her usual compliments, and tonight she could even get away with a little more flirting with her trainer, Dan. But she hadn't seen Jake's face in days. There was something different about him. It wasn't anger. It was something colder. Jake poured wine into her glass, smiling that fake smile he had perfected over the past few weeks. "I have a surprise for you," he said smoothly, his eyes glinting with something she couldn't place. "Really? What is it?" she asked, trying to hide her excitement. He picked up his phone and pressed a few buttons, sending a signal to the TV in their dining room. The lights dimmed as the projector switched on. Ashley's eyes widened in confusion as the screen flickered to life, showing a video of her laughing and touching Dan's chest outside that hotel. It was the same hotel she'd been to countless times with him. She froze. The video continued, each clip revealing more of the betrayal, Ashley sneaking around, laughing with Dan, whispering sweet nothings, and even kissing him in places Jake had taken her. The final clip showed her, with a look of pure pleasure, pulling Dan into their home, right through the front door. Jake stood up, his voice calm but cutting through the tension like a knife. "You thought you could get away with this, huh? I gave you everything, and this is how you repay me. I didn't just catch you, Ashley. I watched you lie to my face day after day, and now you're going to see the consequences." Her face went pale. She opened her mouth, trying to explain, but nothing came out. She could only watch as Jake calmly placed the documents in front of her, papers for divorce. He slid them toward her like they were nothing, sighing, "You've already made your choice." As Ashley's trembling hand reached for the pen, she saw a shadow of doubt cross her face. She looked up, meeting his eyes, but there was no pity there, only coldness. "By the way, you won't be taking anything. The house, the cars, the money, all mine. Your affair didn't just cost you me, Ashley. It cost you everything." Just then, the doorbell rang. Ashley jumped in her seat, looking around in confusion. Jake stood up, giving her a glance of finality. He opened the door and in walked his lawyer, followed by a few security guards. "You're done. And when this is over, everyone will know what you did." Months passed, and Jake's life transformed. He was no longer a man weighed down by betrayal. He had moved on, finding love and purpose with his new wife, Lena. She valued him not for his success, but for the man he was. Together, they built a life filled with trust, respect, and the quiet joys of family. Their 2 children brought him a fulfillment he had never known before. Meanwhile, Ashley's world crumbled. The scandal followed her, her reputation ruined. She tried to reach out, but Jake never responded. Every plea was ignored, every door closed. She had lost everything, her status, security, and the life she once cherished. At a prestigious gala months later, Jake stood tall, Lena and their children by his side. The cameras flashed, capturing a man who had risen above the pain. He had rebuilt his life, not through revenge, but through true happiness. As for Ashley, she was nothing more than a fading shadow of his past. Sometimes life throws us into situations where betrayal feels like the end, but it's not. For Jake, the pain of betrayal was just the beginning of something better. He didn't seek revenge out of anger, he did it out of strength and wisdom. He didn't need to fight. He simply let time and truth work for him. And in the end, he built a life with someone who truly valued him. He found real love and the happiness that he deserved. Remember, betrayal is painful, but it's not the end of your story. Sometimes it's the catalyst for a new chapter, a chapter where you reclaim your power, your worth, and your happiness. Keep going, keep growing, and don't let anyone ever make you feel less than you are. If you enjoyed this story and want more powerful content like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay strong, and until next time.